Of course, well, I can say no, I mean, every director in the world would say the same thing, that obviously theatrical acting projects in a different way than film acting. But in a way, I'm the wrong person to ask. Because I have worked happily with many actors, some of them famous, a lot of them very talented. But I am perverse enough to make a theater in which the actor is not the center of the event. And most people would say, well, that's crazy, then you shouldn't be in the theater. But for me, the center of the theater is compositional, manipulating all the elements in three-dimensional space. And it's interesting talking about actors, because when I was a kid, I started out as an actor. When I was in college, I was an actor. And I was a very rhetorical actor, like Shakespeare, like, to be or not to be, that is the question. I was not a method actor. But in fact, I don't like that presentational quality of actors. And I started in my theater 20 years ago when I was performing in very small rooms for like an audience of 50 people, having the actors wear radio mics so that the stage actors didn't have to project and could just talk, hello, as if I'm talking to myself. And I like that quality better. So in a sense, I brought screen acting into the theater. I'd also just have to add that my great hero as a director when I was a very young person was Robert Bresson, the French filmmaker who used people and tried to make them not act as they were performing. Listen, when I was a young boy, I was very shy. And I started being in plays because it was a way I could interact with people and overcome my shyness because somebody else was writing the lines. So by the time I was 9 or 10 years old, I was making my own plays, writing them, making the scenery, playing the leading role, directing them. By the time I was 13, and then through the time I was 36, I went to see every play in New York, everything. But even at that early age, most everything that I saw, I thought was terrible. So I would walk out of the theater saying, it's hopeless. If that's what they like in the theater, how can I ever be a success? Because I think that's terrible. So it is true that I hate the theater. And at that early age, I began to find that for me, the other arts were much more interesting. And to this day, I don't think about theater. I think about poetry, painting, philosophy, psychoanalysis. But theater, I have no interest. Now, am I telling the absolute truth? Well, I have been making theater for 40 years, so maybe it's a little more mixed up than that. But I think life is full of everything being mixed up like that. And I want to make a theater that is true at every moment to that being mixed up and full of contradiction.